You're good.
Good morning. My name is Specialist Beeman. I'm the primary instructor for today's LTT. On camera, we have Private Villapando, who is going to be my secondary instructor, helping me video. Today, we are going to go over performing surveillance without the aid of electronic devices. You are going to learn to be a member of a squad or a team in a defensive position and must conduct surveillance with your assigned sector during both daylight and limited visibility, which is also at night. Some iterations of this task can be performed in Mod 4, but today we're not going to be doing that. So the standards that are going to be set for today is identifying potential activity indicators, conduct a visual search of your assigned sector, and submit salute reports. We will go over what salute is further in this class. Right now, the safety risk is going to be low. It's kind of hot outside, so just make sure that you guys have water. And let's begin. For identifying potential activity indicators and sectors, you're going to perform observations in the daylight using rapid scan technique. So you're going to have your sectors from 100 meters between, and then all the way out in front of you, it's going to be in increments of 100 meters all the way to 600. So it's going to look so this is you. So it's going to be 100 meters out, and then this way it's going to be 600 meters in depth of where you're going to be looking at for possible enemies or any kind of movement that shouldn't be there. You're going to use a slow scan technique, which is going to start from obviously the very beginning and move each way like this. And make sure you're going slow so you're not missing any possible movements. The slow scan technique uses the same process as the rapid scan, but it's more deliberate. It means that you move your headed side to side motion and more frequent pauses than a rapid scan. So for when you're in the dark, we're not going to be doing this in the dark. We're going to be doing it more in the daylight. So I'm just going to briefly go over about the dark techniques. But when you're in the dark and you have limited visibility observation, you're going to use the dark adaptation technique. You stay in the dark for about 30 minutes so you can let your eyes fully adjust, and then move to a red light area to conduct any kind of reconnaissance. If you're going to go back into the normal light or white light, you would also have to go back for 30 minutes to let your eyes adjust again. For the night scanning patterns, it's going to be a little bit different. So again, you're going to have your sector of 100 and 600 meters out. Now for this, it actually gives you certain seconds. So what you want to do is start from back here and move slow. So this is going to be a 3-second intermission, and then you go down, over. So that would be 6 seconds, down. So what we're doing is we're kind of going back and forth using that kind of pattern, and make sure that you take at least 6 seconds to scan every time you go across. That's going to be 6 seconds, that's going to be 6 seconds. So you're going to take a lot longer than what you would in normal light. There's also another pattern that you can use, which is going to be a crossover So, I mean, you can start at any point, but it's gonna look like this. So, I mean, you could start here, 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 and you would just go ahead and scan like that, in that type of direction. And then that also is going to be about 3 to 4 seconds iteration. So this would be like 3 seconds, 3 seconds, and you want to kind of stop and make sure, you know, that your sight picture is clear. So there's also a problem when you have low visibility, is that you have to use the off-center vision technique. This technique of viewing an object uses central vision and effective at night due to night blind spot that exists during low illumination. You must learn to use off-center vision if you're gonna be using this more in the dark. So for example, what that is gonna look like is, so this is your eyeball, right? And then say this is the person that you actually can see out in the dark, right? So you don't want to directly look. So this is going to be your line of sight. So if you have your line of sight right here, it's about 8 to 10 degrees off, so you can actually visibly see that person. You're not supposed to look directly at them. You're supposed to look kind of at an angle, so you're not focusing on them too much, because then your eyes are going to strain and you're not going to see correctly, and you're going to see things that actually aren't there. So you want to make sure your line of visibility is this line of sight to like parallel to where like you're looking at, because you're always going to see them in your peripherals. Now for the salute, when you see a figure or somebody out there, you want to report a salute. So what salute is going to stand for is size, A, activity, location, unit, or you can just say who, time, or when, and equipment, and or how. So to go over this a little bit further, if you see an enemy, you say how many there are. So you say like one person. Activity is kind of like what they're doing. Are they standing there? Are they talking on the phone? Are they driving around in a vehicle? Location would be where they are at in your perimeter, like by a building or by a tree, or if there is none of those like specific things you can say, you can also use the clock reference to like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. The unit is going to be who. So say if you can distinguish them, they're not too far away, that you can distinguish them like per like their uniform, what they look like. Time is going to be for like certain events. Always report or local Zulu time. The equipment would be more like if they have a gun, like some kind of a weapon, or if they have some vehicles. So make sure that every time that you're in your perimeter and you see somebody walking up, that you're calling out the salute report, because that is your means of communication. So you're not the only one who sees them. So today, in the activity, the way that we would coach you and grade you would be, for one, identifying potential activity indicators and sectors. So like I said, you would identify a person that is out there that you see that is in your line of sector. You perform observation techniques of the sector, so make sure you're doing the right scanning patterns and you're taking your time, and during nighttime you use that line of sight. And then you want to submit your salute report, so like I said, the size, activity, location, unit, time, and equipment. If you do all those correctly, you obviously get a go on today's session. And then I also provided a standard range card that explains salute and your perimeters that you're going to be in today. Printed, I also have the hands-on evaluation. So this will tell you if you got a yes or a no for the testing portion. And that's pretty much it for today. I would lastly go over the AAR with you guys and the soldiers. That's important, so don't forget that. And if any of you have any questions, go ahead and give me an email. That's it. You can turn it off. Thank you.